What's going on, everybody? You're watching New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. Day 4 of NBA free agency is upon us, and the rumors circulating around the NBA and the New York Knicks continue to stay hot. In today's show, we're talking about Immanuel Quickley because according to reports, the Knicks have shopped IQ this summer. Reports coming out from The Athletic that we'll get quotes to coming up in a second about potentially trading him for a very good player in their prime. We'll break that down. Then on the tail end of the show, more reports about Immanuel Quickley. Sounds like he wants to be paid $100 million on his next contract. We're going to dive into it. But first, I want to make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. We put out videos every single day on the latest Knicks news and rumors. We go live when things happen. We were live on the channel Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We put out 2 videos on Sunday. All summer long, we are going to be your one-stop shop for everything New York Knicks. So if you love the Knicks and you want free daily content on the latest news and rumors, go down right now, hit that big red sub button, and become one of us. Let's get into it. Fred Katz said this about Immanuel Quickley. He said he's heard of at least one situation where the Knicks spoke to another team about flipping Quickley for a very good player in his prime. Talks didn't go far, and it did not seem equivalent to what was going on this past autumn when the Knicks had legitimate discussions with various teams about dealing Immanuel Quickley for a first-round pick or something like that. So you have that, and you also have reports coming out that Immanuel Quickley wants a 4-year, $100 million contract. So you got trade rumors, you got contract rumors. What does that mean? The Knicks have to make a decision on Immanuel Quickley. But before we get to the contract, I want to talk about what Fred Katz said. Trading Immanuel Quickley for a really good player in their prime. I tried to put on my investigator hat and think about who that could be, but I couldn't really come up with any great names. So I thought about the players that the Knicks have most been linked to this summer when it comes to trade rumors. We know the Karl Anthony Towns trade rumors were the ones that really kicked it off this summer. We talked about those a couple of months ago at this point. Zach LaVine trade rumors were really hot at one point, but then the Clutch Sports and the CAA beef rose to the top, and maybe that trade now seems dead. OG Anunoby is the guy that really has all the trade rumors surrounding him. Reports are coming out that the Toronto Raptors want to make a big move after they lost Fred VanVleet in NBA free agency. There's been talks between the Knicks and the Raptors about OG Anunoby back at the NBA trade deadline. And Paul George, Ian Begley of SNY reported that the Knicks and Clippers had discussions on a Paul George trade prior to the NBA draft. And Adrian Wojnarowski and Brian Windhorst have both linked the New York Knicks to the Philadelphia guard, James Harden. Could it be for one of these guys? Maybe. If you have an idea of who it could be, let me know in the comment section. But I say that to say this. I don't want to trade Immanuel Quickley. I think he just brings too much value and too much balance to this roster. We're going to break down all the stats about Quickley, and we'll really fill you in on why I believe that. But I just think he brings too much on offense and too much on defense. And I honestly think if I had to rank the trade value of the players on the Knicks roster, I would have Immanuel Quickley number 2. Right behind Jalen Brunson. I would have Jalen Brunson as an untouchable in any trade pretty much for the New York Knicks. And then I would hold Immanuel Quickley in that second spot, who has the second most trade value and who I want to keep the most. And then I had to decide between RJ Barrett and Quentin Grimes. And I know I may push some people away and make some people mad at this, but I think Quentin Grimes, especially with the contract he's on right now, but I just think he plays a more winning brand of basketball and can fit in easier to any team than Barrett. So I have Grimes 3, Barrett 4, and I almost put Mitchell Robinson 5, but I had to put Julius Randle there as well. I'd probably go Josh Hart 6, then Mitchell Robinson 7, then probably Isaiah Hartenstein number 8. So that is my order of who I value the most when it comes to trading players on the New York Knicks. But I want to ask this question. If you could only keep one of these guys, Quickley, Barrett, or Grimes, because they have all been mentioned in trade rumors dating all the way back to last summer, if you only could keep one, who would you want? Do you want to keep Immanuel Quickley? Do you want to keep RJ Barrett? Do you want to keep Quentin Grimes? Because I will tell you this right now. If and when the Knicks do trade for that superstar, It's going to be very unlikely all three remain on this team. So type 5, 9, or 6 of who you want the Knicks to keep. All righty, we're going to close out the show talking about the reports from Heavy.com and an anonymous league executive that said Immanuel Quickley wants a 4-year, $100 million contract. Excuse me, $100 million contract. This is what the anonymous NBA executive told Heavy.com. They said he is going to want a 9-figure deal. That's for 4 years. A lot of money. I can't say the Knicks will go that high, but they might have to. He is not a guy you want to send to restricted free agency. The Knicks need to pay him now, while you can still negotiate and play a little hardball. Then come back and see if there's a trade to be made with one of your other guards on the roster. That's really their only choice. You got to get a deal done with Immanuel Quickley. And I agree with the executive. I don't want to run the risk of having Immanuel Quickley have another stellar season this year, enter restricted free agency, and a team like the Rockets or another team that has a similar same mindset as the Rockets, but they're just going to overpay a guy because they have salary cap space, and you got to get to that salary cap floor in the new CBA. Don't run the risk of losing Immanuel Quickley. Get the deal done, sign the extension, and let's run it back with him as the first guard off the bench. He was incredible for New York this past year. In 81 games, he missed just one game due to injury, which stinks. It's like Randall played 79 games. He was so healthy, then he got hurt in the playoffs. Immanuel Quickley was healthy during the regular season, and he got hurt in the playoffs. But in 29 minutes per game, Quickley averaged 15 points per night, 4 rebounds, 3.4 assists, and 44.8% from the deck to go with a red-hot 37% from three. But these stats don't show you the impact that he has. He is an excellent defender. He is a great communicator. He can pick up the point of attack for the other teams. He is just a perfect fit. Also, can play the 2 guard alongside Jalen Brunson due to his wingspan and his defensive IQ. Another reason I want to keep him, he can start for you whenever he has to. He can fill in for Jalen Brunson as the starter. He can fill in as with Quentin Grimes as the starter. Shoot, if R.J. Barrett gets hurt, you can slide Quickley to the 2 and Quentin Grimes to the 3. There is so much value in having a guy that can come off the bench, but also a guy that could be a spot starter for you. And that's what Quickley was. In 21 games this year that he started, he gave you 23, 5, and 5 on 47 and 40 splits from the field. Those are all-star type of numbers. Not saying he could do that over 82, but I'm not saying that either. He was special. But unfortunately in the playoffs, he wasn't that same guy. The numbers fell off a cliff. 9 points per game, less than 2 rebounds, less than 2 assists, but it's the efficiency and the ability that he showed in the regular season he was not able to replicate in the postseason. 34.8% from the field and 24% from 3. I'm not going to, value Quickley as high as I do or change my opinion on him, I guess is the better phrase to use, because of the lackluster playoffs. I believe in the kid, I believe in the product, and I believe in the work that he puts into this game. I want to keep him. Another reason that I really like Immanuel Quickley is he does things that fit in any type of team he could play in. He could be the point guard. He could be the 2 guard. He could do whatever. Why? Because he does the little things. His shooting percentage on catch-and-shoot three-pointers this year was 39.3. He could even create his own shot from 3. I know he didn't do it in the postseason, but that's a small sample size. 34.5% on pull-up threes, which is a good percentage. And then this is what I love the most. He continues to get better and better and better when attacking the rim and finishing around the rim. That floater has almost become automatic for Quickley. When he shoots shots less than 10 feet from the basket, 59%. He's a special offensive player, and I don't believe that $25 million would be an overpay. 4 years, $100 million, $25 million. How much is $25 million in the landscape of the NBA? That would be the 27th highest paid guard in the NBA. Is Immanuel Quickley a top 27 guard in the NBA? I would lean towards yes. This is what that tier of players look like. Tyler Hero, and this is factoring in the latest deals in NBA free agency. Tyler Hero comes in at number 25 at $27 million. Then you got Jalen Brunson on the best deal in the NBA right now at $26.3 million. Are you telling me Immanuel Quickley isn't more valuable than Mike Conley or Terry Rozier, right around the same value, if not better, than Anthony Simons or Malcolm Brogdon or Spencer Dinwiddie? He is. He fits perfectly in this tier right here, $25 million would not be an overpay for Immanuel Quickley, especially when guys like Bruce Brown are getting $22.5 million per year, and Quickley is 100% a better hooper than he is. But should they do it? You know, you're already paying RJ Barrett a lot of money. You're already paying Jalen Brunson a good bit of money. You're paying Mitchell Robinson $15 million. Julius Randle right under 30. You just gave Dante DiVincenzo about $50 million, $12.5 million per year. You're paying Josh Hart. You've paid a lot of players. Should Immanuel Quickley be next? And should it be at the price point that he reportedly wants at 4 years, $100 million, which is $25 per? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I'm curious what you guys are thinking. I want to circle this back to Obi Toppin. Trading Obi Toppin actually makes signing Immanuel Quickley easier. And why do I say that? Both of these guys were contract extension eligible going into the 2023 season, which means they can offer him a contract extension. But if they don't, they would be restricted free agents in the summer of 2024. And I can promise you this, the Knicks were not going to re-sign Obi and Immanuel Quickley. It was always going to be one of those guys. And I think trading Obi Toppin kind of hints to the fact that Leon Rose and the Knicks want to bring back Immanuel Quickley no matter what the price point is. At the end of the day, he brings too much value. Quickley, the runner-up in Sixth Man of the Year. Award was stolen from him by Malcolm Brogdon. He brings too much value to let him walk. And the only way I would actually trade Immanuel Quickley is if I am getting a superstar. And all the players we talked about on the show earlier, the 5 players we talked about, Kat, Paul George, James Harden, Zach LaVine, OG Anunoby, those are not superstars. I am not trading Immanuel Quickley for any of those 5 players. If I do, it's for a superstar. And there's not many of those guys left in this league. As always, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for all the love you guys have been showing to this channel. We are growing like crazy. We just reached 26,000 subscribers. So thank you. I appreciate you. But we're not stopping. We're going to continue to crush it this offseason. So keep us locked in, and we'll see you later. We're also going to be live on the channel later today. So see you then.